If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of A Numbers Game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM Channel 158. So many ways to tune us in. You just have to choose one of them. We appreciate it, though. You don't have to do all at the same time, as we've speculated on before. Just one of them.
It's impressive if you do, though.
It is, if you could sync it all up. It's Gill Alexander.
Take a picture.
It's Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Still to come this hour, Stormy Buonantony in studio.
Big time get.
Talking NHL with us. Right?
I believe she agreed with me on my Yeti take the last time around, too.
Oh, Utah Yeti would be the most awesome name ever.
It was obvious even when they released the list. It was like, hey, here's 9 names. And right away, everybody was like, that one.
Moneyline Marv tweeted it. He said the Utah Hockey Club can sign RTIC coolers instead of Yeti now just to spite them.
Oh, but I love that. I don't even know what that cooler company is, but I love that idea.
He probably works for them.
Probably. Good job, Marv.
pick 10. Damn, as an Eagles fan, I hate this trade because Pickens is good, a pain in the arse, but good. I'm with you. I said that as a Skins fan earlier. I said, I don't want Pickens to be in division.
Yeah.
He is a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Every 50-50 ball.
I thought Schrager had an interesting report or whatever to say about him this morning of just as much as we see on-field problems, he was kind of reporting how like he is very beloved was beloved in the locker room by Pittsburgh and like never had any problems really in there.
It's just he does the whole how am I not getting the ball thing.
Yeah.
It's like okay, after a while you're like, all right, dude.
But yeah, have you seen your quarterback play? That's why.
By the way, I don't know why that Abdul Carter thing set me off so much, but like we got to it's like so he asked Phil Simms for 11 because 11 again was the LeVar Arrington started great number the Micah Parsons 11 at Penn State, and obviously Abdul Carter wore it as linebackers at Penn State, has that lineage. LeVar Arrington Jr. probably, I would imagine, will wear it as well. So he looked for 11 from Phil Simms. Phil Simms was like, no. He wanted 56 from Lawrence Taylor, which took the most chutzpah, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It is one thing to go to Simms. It's another thing.
That took some moxie right there. That took some gumption. And I'm like thinking, like, how does he keep going down the list now? I'm like thinking about like other great Giants linebackers. Is he like calling the Van Pelt family from the 80s or 70s? Being like, can I wear number 10? I heard Brad Van Pelt wears 10. And then the Van Pelt family would have this like, Brad passed away 15 years ago. No, you cannot. Like, how far does this go? Just wear your own number. Pick your own thing.
Like calling the Mannings. Like, hey, Eli, can I wear your 10? Like, do you not have any ideas? You know what this reminds me of? Did you ever see that movie, The Fan? Wesley Snipes as a San Francisco Giant outfielder?
No, I never saw that.
Oh, man. I want to say you should, but it was a very mediocre sports movie. Yeah. Oh, boy. De Niro or Pacino. Someone's going to kill me. I think it was De Niro. De Niro and Wesley Snipes. Thank you, Rob. It was De Niro. And I don't even remember the whole story, but same thing. Wesley Snipes is like a big-time baseball player, gets traded to the Giants, and he's got to change numbers that goes into like an epic slump after he changes his from his legendary number.
Cut to a shot of Brian Ortega, producer of Money Moves, traveling from the Derby to the Preakness, hearing you mess up De Niro and Pacino, losing his mind.
I got to get back.
He's turning right now to come here. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it's time for. It's time for Country Clubbing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a special edition this week, too. All the lights are up. Yeah, crew's getting into it. It's a special edition this week because we go to the Philadelphia Cricket Club.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Cricket Club. Don't ask me if they play cricket there, because I don't know. I asked Matt Brown yesterday. He didn't know either.
Oh, the Philadelphia Cricket Club.
Yeah, one off here. This is the Truist Championship, so this is a little confusing because this.
Wait, can I get my 2 tennis picks before you do this? Before you launch into golf? Because they're about to start, so I just want to throw these in. I have two plays in Rome, on clay in Rome. One of them, the line moved completely against me too. I'm on Francesco Passaro, going up in tennis today. I'm going to botch this name, Kelley. You ready for me to botch a pronunciation? Anyway, if you're a VSiN Pro subscriber, you get all these picks at VSiN.com/picks. every host, every guest, every sport, it pays to be a subscriber because usually you get the best of the number. Certainly in tennis, usually we get the best of the number, but not on this one. I got Francesco Pissarro last night at plus 121. You can get Pissarro right now at plus 148. I mean, that really went against me. He is going up against Cheng Chun-Sin.
Nailed it.
Cheng Chun-Sin. He is going up against. Pissarro's pick number 1. Number 2, though, we're on a favorite, Laszlo Djere. This one did move. You could still playable. I got it at minus 116 last night. He's only a few pennies worse than that. You could still play Laszlo Djere up against Tomas Martin Echeverry. Those are your 2 tennis plays on the clay in Rome. As you were, sir.
Yes.
Sorry about that rude interruption.
No, you're all good, man. Mm-hmm. You're all good because Rome is that tennis match is going on right now, and it's starting soon. So, we got to get the bets out there for everybody who's going to be playing those. Okay, so PGA Championships next week, right? They're playing that at Quail Hollow. That usually would have followed this week for the Wells Fargo Championship. This is all confusing golf course and sponsorship stuff. Wells Fargo, step aside, new bank on tour, Truist Bank takes over. So they take over the naming rights. This will return to Quail Hollow next year. But for this year, because they're playing PGA at Quail Hollow, we are going off for the one-off tournament at the, I'm not even going to try.
No, I was going to say.
Wissahickon course. I actually think I'm close.
Yeah.
At the Philadelphia Cricket Club. This is a par 70 shorter course. This is a very historic course. I think it was rated as one of the top 100 courses in the United States. So if you live in the area, I'm sure you know it well. Par 71, a little over 7,100 yards is what we're looking like for the setup. Very interesting, Gil, whenever you encounter a new course on tour, because you got to kind of do a little extra legwork, scouting it out. I do usually dial back the betting a little bit when we get to a new course. I lean so much on past course stats and what is proven to work there that I think if you handicap golf like I do, you got to be a little bit careful with new courses. But it is fun to scout it out and take a listen to Long Shots. Matt Brown and I were talking through this yesterday. And, in a new course, me and him did disagree on some things on kind of what we were looking at and what we were valuing. So give that a listen if you want to talk through what we looked at, what we found in the course and what we found important.
I always ask this about a tournament prior to a major, the week before. Does it give you any pause at all? Where is it a possibility where if someone is, I don't know if you factor this in, this might be a little too nuanced, but like the possibility of someone who's on the cut line, like on the bubble, and you're like, well, if I can project that person to be there, maybe I don't play them because they might just say, let's just go to Quail Hollow.
Yes, I think before majors, I'm glad you brought this up, you did, because I left something very important out. Yes, I think before majors that should be in your mind. It doesn't apply here, though, because this is a signature event.
Yeah.
So we are 72 players, no cut, big money on the line.
Money's money.
Money's money.
Yeah.
I don't really expect there to be a much of that going on, but I think before a lot of other majors, that is something you should keep in mind. So, 72-man field. This is a $20 million purse, no cut. So if you are playing make-miss cut props or head-to-head matchups, be careful with that. That's another one where between new course and it being no cut event, I didn't play any tournament matchups this week. I think that always gets dicey when you don't have a cut in play. And again, a new course, it's hard enough to try to handicap and figure out one golfer instead of figuring out how two are going to do. Interesting course. I think distance off the tee here is going to matter. This is the most bunkers you're going to see on tour this entire season at this course. 118 bunkers is what they're going to face at. Those are littered all over the fairway, around the greens. Green complexes will be difficult. I think distance is going to matter here, though, from what I was looking at. It looks like you're going to be able to hit past a lot of these fairway bunkers if you do have the distance. So I did factor that in a fair amount this week. Matt and I disagreed a little bit on that. We'll see how it plays out. Green complexes are mainly the main defense for this course. Multi-tiered greens. These are going to be tough to putt on. You're going to see guys having to bail out on approach shots and just go into the middle of the green sometimes. I think, again, all this new course, take it with a grain of salt. So as far as bets for the week, is there a name that jumps out to you, Gill, on the outright card? Justin Thomas, I'm going back to. Got a W with him the last time he teed it up. I'm going right back to it. Look, he's losing off the tee, but this is a shorter course. Again, if he feels the need, he needs to take the driver out of his hands to control some accuracy. I think he can at multiple holes here. He's been playing great. Recent recent results, won the RBC Heritage, T36 of the Masters, second at the Valspar. He is first in the field in putting right now. The putter is hot. It's usually what holds him back. I will continue to ride the hot putter with Justin Thomas, 19-1, and a top 5 play for him. And then a guy that I never bet, Gill Alexander.
You hate him.
Because I hate him, but I like money more. Jordan Spieth. 33-1 on the outright. I played a top 20 on him as well. Every number I ran, Gil, he was number 2 in every model that I put together, right behind Rory McIlroy.
Can I give that Rick Gaiman stat you shared earlier this week?
100%. And this will apply to that too. Scotty Scheffler not in the field, by the way.
Scotty Scheffler not in the field.
Rory McIlroy, the short shot here. You got basically everybody else, but Scotty's gotten into this routine of kind of choosing to take the week off before a major and practice himself.
But you're on Jordan Spieth in both the outrights, top 5 and top 20. And
yes.
So this was just contextual stuff from Rick Gaiman. Our buddy said Scotty Scheffler has won 13 times since Jordan Spieth's last win. Spieth only has 14 total wins, meaning that Scotty has basically had Spieth's entire career since February of 2022.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So, and I do think, so it's, I sent that to you. And kind of mainly the most notable thing to me actually was how long it's been since Spieth's won, right?
Yes.
Now, here's the inside the sick mind of a bettor, right? Let's go. I liked Spieth. He rated out very highly for me this week. As a logical bettor, I was planning on just putting in a top 20 bet. But then I thought to myself, if he goes and wins this thing, though, I'm going to be more upset with him than I've ever been before, Gil. So I've got to play at least a little bit of an outright. That's the sick mind of a bettor right there. So, yeah, I'm in on Spieth. Keegan Bradley, my long shot this week.
You love Keegan Bradley.
Hey, if I'm going to bet one guy I hate, I got to bet with somebody I love. Keegan Bradley, 52-1. Look, the putter's been awful recently, but he has been a top 20 machine so far on tour. Has put together some really good ball striking numbers. I think Keegan is set up well for this week at the Truist. So played him outright in top 5. And then Corey Connors, just another guy, continues to grind out good finish after good finish here recently on tour. So I played a top 20 on him.
Okay. Truist Championship the week before the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, golf's second major of the year. We'll come back. Jason Weingarten with all of his bets, some thoughts on pitchers and his plays of the day. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code ANG.
ANG is an A numbers game.
Deposit $25. Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Always appreciate the feedback. Banshees of Atlantic City. I've never played golf at the cricket club, he says, but 40 years ago it was a very popular spot for us teenagers to drag a keg into the woods on a Friday night, and I certainly went to a few of those. Let me know if you'd like to hear my insights.
That's an awesome tweet. That is an awesome tweet. If we ever mention any country clubs on the PGA Tour or anything like that, or just any other location that you randomly partied in high school or college, I would like to know about it.
I didn't do the randomly partying stuff, but we did jump the fence on golf courses all the time.
Yeah, there's an executive airport right next to Florida Atlantic University. That used to be a nice keg spot back in the day. Oh yeah.
For people wondering why I always do the hootie thing every year, I mean, because we would jump the fence and play like 3-4 holes in the middle of a course, and then eventually someone would run us off. Hey, I know you're kind. I'd be like, what do you mean by you're kind? Jamie Leva, the Utah Mammoth gives me Mr. Snuffleupagus vibes. Tusks up does not strike fear in my opinion. Have a fantastic day, gentlemen. What a missed opportunity for Utah. And then Sparty KY noticed the stage of elimination market for the NFL at DraftKings. Thoughts on this? Thanks. Well, we don't have any thoughts because we don't have them up right now. But that is that's an interesting market to have up in May, I assume, meaning stage of elimination, either pre-playoffs, which round of the playoffs, all kinds of ways to bet the National Football League this time of year.
Yeah, they've been doing that for basically every sport now. That's become a common DraftKings market.
I dig it. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know that I often find that there's a bet there just because you often compare to the yes-no playoff markets, right? It's you're usually looking at playoffs, and then you're trying to decide when you're going to get bounced in the playoffs.
Well, also NFL is a different animal than best of 7 series in the NHL and NBA, right? That's a whole different, like, do you want to get involved in the NFL? That's a little more little more dicey in terms of what are you showing me?
I was showing you the picture of the fan. Eric Biggio got it at least. He didn't tweet Gill.
Kelley couldn't wait till after the show or a break. He had to show me right now.
Well, I forgot Benicio del Toro was in it too, like as a professional baseball player.
Didn't Benicio del Toro in Traffic in the end when he's in the pool, so he couldn't be wired? He was like, "Who doesn't like baseball?"
Oh,
I think that's what.
Yeah,
who doesn't love baseball?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. What is it that we're doing again here? I lost my train of
Talking to
thought.
Jason Weingarten.
Oh, yeah, Jason Weingarten, ladies and gentlemen. He was trying to get his camera ready, and believe me, it was going to be awesome. But it didn't work out. So we've got Jason, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, but in the old Alexander Graham Bell sort of vehicle we like to call the telephone. How you doing, Jason?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Doing very well. Let me ask you a question here. You sent me the old like resume A, resume B thing yesterday, and they were very comparable. One of them, of course, was Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The other one was Griffin Canning. What were you trying to get at with that?
I was going through the Cy Young numbers so far, and most of the pitchers are still under 50 innings pitched. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt because one good start can bump somebody up or down the numbers. But I went and I wanted to look at Skeens because Skeens is the co-favorite with Yamamoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. One of those guys is on the best team in the league, and one of those guys is not pitching meaningful games for the second season in a row. But they're both tied at FanDuel at plus 270. So I just wanted to go through the numbers a little deeper, and I did. And I use Tom Tango's numbers for the most part. I don't think there's a necessity to deviate much from Tom Tango's work. And according to Tom Tango, he has Skeens like 10th or 11th in the National League right now in the Cy Young race, which doesn't mean he couldn't bounce right up into it. But I have a hard time buying the market right now with Skeens as a co-favorite. It's kind of divorced from reality, similar to things we've seen lately with Shedeur Sanders or I don't know. I could think of a couple other things, but divorced from reality is what I would say for Skeens' current Cy Young odds.
Yeah, for those who don't know who Jason is referring to, or Tom Tango, who has chimed in with us whenever we go through this with his Cy Young tracker, but it is tried and true. Like he is always, his very basic formula, Tango's formula. We prattle on about analytics a lot, but Tango has a very simple formula, and it really does manifest more often than not as to who ends up winning both the AL and NL Cy Young. So give us your top three, Jason, and your top three jibes with Tangos in both the NL and AL.
Yeah, I got Yamamoto as the leader right now, Nick Pivetta and Freddie Peralta in second and third.
All right, so before you move on that before you move on from that, Yamamoto right now at DraftKings plus 250. Let's see, who are the other two that you said? Pivetta's 35-1. Who was the third?
Peralta.
Freddie Peralta.
35-1 as well. So both Pivetta and Peralta at 35-1. Okay. And your American League and Tangos were?
Much more top heavy. I think he and I both agree that Max Fried is currently number one right now. He's actually pitching later today. Hunter Brown is one of the other ones on Houston. And I'm trying to think who was the third one I wrote down. It wasn't Skubal. I was actually surprised. But I know it's Fried and Hunter Brown top two there. So pretty top heavy in the AL actually.
Yeah. By the way, I have
Garrett Crochet was the other.
Yeah, you have. Okay, so I have him right in front of me now. I just found him. Max Fried, Hunter Brown, Garrett Crochet. So again, Hunter Brown the longest there at plus 550. Right now in the actual market, Skubal and Crochet shorter than Fried, who's at 5-1. And in the National League, you had Yamamoto, Pivetta, and Peralta, as you mentioned, Freddie Peralta. So the 35-1s on Pivetta and Peralta being the longest of the bunch there. Do you have bets on all of these? Are you making a bet on Pivetta or Peralta at those numbers?
I have not. I have Yamamoto. I'm pretty happy with that. I do think he has a good chance to win. Obviously, we're, like I said, we're still at 50 innings, so a lot of runway left in front of all these pitchers. I wouldn't say anybody is, close to winning anything right now. I would, you could start kind of throwing guys out like Sandy Alcantara. I messed up there. That didn't work out. Chris Sale. I didn't bet him this year. Bet him last year. He's not going to win back-to-back Cy Youngs. You could throw his name out of contention in the National League. So more what I'm doing right now is sort of whittling down the list to guys who aren't going to win. Then you can continue to sort of focus on the guys you want to bet more money on. But pretty happy with my Yamamoto position.
What did you land on in baseball today? Full day of Major League Baseball.
Braves over 7.5. That was my only play. I played the Oklahoma City Dodgers. I think that game started like 15 minutes ago, though. AAA baseball.
Did you get that one, Kelley? Oklahoma City Dodgers. He's on that.
I thought he screwed up and meant the Thunder or something like that. I did not even know that's the AAA team?
Yeah.
AAA, yeah. That game just started like 15 minutes ago. But speaking of NBA, real quick, Monday night I turned off the game. There was like 7 points. They were up 7 points. I was like, I don't need to watch the rest of this. Came back and won. Then last night, same thing. I turned off the Pacers game. I assumed it was over. What a fool I am, turning games off early this week.
How many people, when the Warriors went up exactly 20 yesterday, were like, they got them right where they want them because of how this playoffs is going? T-Wolves got within 9, but they could never get closer than that.
Kind of drove me nuts. I was ready to go to sleep. I'm like, no, it's like Timberwolves making me stay up to watch this.
Jason, do you make any basketball bets? Do you have any positions, futures?
No futures. I do bet the playoffs. I usually pay attention, see if there's anything worth betting in the second halves of games. But just some poor luck on my part, turning some games off this week that ended up having some awesome finishes. I'm surprised it happened twice, to be honest.
Give us, before you go here, because Steve Fezzik is obsessed with, the worst teams in baseball. Re-rank for us your worst teams in baseball, because there's adjusted season win totals, and he has like a slew of unders on a bunch of teams. So rank the worst teams in baseball for us, if you would.
Got to be the Rockies, right?
Got to be the Rockies. And you were bullish on them before the season, right?
Yeah, I was pretty wrong about that. I mean, it's clear, at least it's nice with something like the Rockies or my Sandy Alcantara, Cy Young. Sometimes it's nice when you have a bet and it's a poor bet and it just loses right away and you don't have to, even worry about it. I was just straight up wrong about the Rockies. But
here's what I'm getting. But here's what I'm getting at. Like, there's teams that we didn't expect, right? The Orioles seem to be terrible. The White Sox we kind of knew about. The Angels, not good. The Marlins, not good. The Pirates, not good at all. The Rockies, there's a bunch of horrible teams. Of the ones I mentioned, Orioles most surprising. Like, do you think it ever turns around for them?
Absolutely, it's going to turn around for the Orioles. Still a good organization, a well-run organization. They will have better days ahead of them. The other teams you mentioned, Marlins, Angels, Pirates, worst days ahead for them. They're non-contenders, also Rams. We're not going to be talking about them much going forward.
Jason, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Jason Weingarten. We'll recap the bets next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Take your betting to the next level with First Bet, whether it's Santa Anita Gulfstream Park. That's Gulfstream Park, by the way, or the road to the Triple Crown. First Bet puts the action at your fingertips. Sign up now at firstbet.com. That's the number one, stbet.com. Use promo code VSiN200 to score a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days up to $200. Don't miss out. Bet smarter today at firstbet.com. Jason Weingarten just texted me. There is a WNBA tip-off that is just happening right now. Preseason WNBA. The Atlanta Dream and the Washington Mystics in D.C., I think. Why are they playing an 11:30 a.m. game in D.C., a preseason game? They can score 155 points? That was the total.
Again, no idea.
Is that an early morning Steve Fezzik special under?
Why would you play that at that time?
I don't know. Somebody get that.
It's not like I'm trying to think of like the summer baseball reasons, right? It's not like school's out and like some summer camp's going.
I have no idea.
I'm trying to think of the ways that the Marlins actually get people in the stands during the summer. That's one of them. Every camp in South Florida is invited. Still plenty of seats available.
Anyway, so that might be a little live betting love if you want some live betting here during the rest of the show. There you go.
I don't see a lineup at DraftKings.
Really? They had one up at certain faraway places.
That I believe a little bit more.
They didn't have it at DraftKings? That's interesting.
There's nothing up at DraftKings.
No live betting opportunities on it? Dream Mystics. Preseason in WNBA already tipping off. It's time to recap all of our best bets. I know we're early, but Stormy's coming in, so we want to make room for her and not to interrupt her with our best bets. But this is it, courtesy of GBank, the official bank of VSiN. I've got a couple tennis bets here this morning, one of which, again, you get a far better price than I will. Again, I'm on Francesco Passaro. Francesco Passaro is taking on... Once again, Kelley, I'm gonna give it a run. You ready?
Yep, go for it, bro. I believe in you.
Thank you. He's taking on. Now I'm not gonna get the word. I set it up and then I lost it. Oh my God, nothing works out.
He's taking on.
Yeah, you try.
Shun His Sing Tseng.
No, I think you say Tseng first. Tseng Jinhun. Okay. Anyway, well, I'm on Francesco Passaro plus 121, but you can get him at plus 148 right now, and I'm on Laszlo Djere minus 116. You can get him at about minus 119. Going up against Tomas Martin Echeverry. Those are the two clay court plays in Rome. And then in the NBA tonight, I'm on the Nuggets plus the 11 against the Thunder, game 2. You want to give me 11 points again? NBA hardos in the market? I'll take it. Give me 11 with the Nuggets. By the way, I took the Pacers series price, as we talked about, after game 1 at plus 191. They are now a favorite in that series, up 2-0. And I took the Nuggets after game 1, plus 267 in this series against the Thunder. So those are my plays. By the way, no baseball plays I should mention today. Didn't do well in baseball yesterday. The rare bad baseball day where the Padres didn't get home. F5 was a push, but the Padres didn't get home after that huge Yankees 8th. And then we didn't get over in Sacramento. We didn't get over in Sacktown, which was a rare thing also. There is no play in Sacramento today. We do not have 2 fly ball pitchers, and Brian Wu, who is a fly ball pitcher for the Athletics, he's good, and so I don't want to play the over there. And I'm not taking the Padres going up against Max Fried. I'm not doing that, even though Will took the Padres plus run and a half, which I like. And boy, would I love for the Padres to win this one. But against Max Fried, who, Kelley, I don't know if you know this, is on the leaflet, I am not playing that one. You, sir.
Dream Mystics 5.5. I just found it. Just tipped off.
FanDuel
has it up. Dream 5.5 point favorites, 156.5. Your closing total.
Those ladies going to score 156 this early in the morning?
I'm going to compare it to a game, next preseason game on Friday. Is that really right? That's what FanDuel's telling me. The next preseason game is on Friday, or the next game is on Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern, where the total between the Sun and the Liberty is 152.5. So it is less than the game being played at 11:30 Eastern time. Interesting.
Somewhere Steve Fezzik's frantically submitting bets.
Yeah, somewhere, yeah.
By the way, speaking of that, can I interrupt this because I just mentioned Fezzik? Sorry about this, Kelley.
Yeah, no, you're fine, man.
The VSiN Killer Sports NBA Playoff Challenge. Steve Fezzik kind of starting to build a lead. 16-8. 16-8. Second place, both with 14 wins. Doug Kazarian 14-7. Zach Cohen 14-9. Our buddy Zach. Right after that, Kelley Bydlon at 12-9. You and Alex Christensen tied at 12-9.
12-9. I think I dropped 4 in a row.
JVT also with 12, but he's 12-12.
I've been sitting more on the sidelines the second round. I only played 1 game in there so far in the second round. It was a loser. I'll have a second one tonight.
Someone called Doug, make sure he's okay. I think Doug's made 1 play in the last month.
Wait, really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating.
Oh.
But he's
like, what?
Yeah. He made few plays at the end of the second round. I think he played a lot early. And so he only had like 1 to play, and now he's sort of slow playing at the beginning of the second round.
That was me, though, too.
Yeah.
My biggest concern that first round was just making 20 plays.
Oh, mine too.
So I was pushing stuff early and then picking spots late, and then it kind of rolled into the second round where I didn't really love a ton of these early games.
But can I ask a question? I'm sorry to interrupt the best bets, but the question about this. So in the contest, the Pacers were plus 10 yesterday. Why didn't everybody play the Pacers plus 10?
Because some of us fell asleep at the wheel.
Because of the entry deadline an hour before?
Yeah. And when you texted me, I tried to go do it.
By the way, Fezzik, we talked about this off air, and I would say this to Fezzik's face too, and he's listening, so he hears me now. he is getting a little too cocky about this. 16-8. He's like, yeah, I'm good at contest. He is. Only back-to-back winner of the Hilton Super Contest. But now, like the Indiana plus 10 thing, Twitter Fezzik comes out when that happens, when only 5 of us are on it. He's like, why doesn't everybody play it? What's wrong with people? So it's like, here we go.
Is that what the number was?
Plus 10.
Jeez.
What did it close? 5.5?
5.5.
But even if we could anticipate those injuries all day long. We're like, they might not play. They might not play. They might not play. Sure enough, none of them played.
I'm still like a little surprised that happened. Man, Cleveland had this.
Garland, Mobley, and Hunter we're talking about. None of them played.
There was this
and then they led by 20.
Reputation or whatever story circling around when Jared Allen missed time last year of like, oh, is he really hurt? And I'm wondering how much of that's circling around in Cleveland right now. Because I think there was Hunter. I think there were some expectations that he'd be back sooner than what this has been. And, and some of it's you're in the playoffs. So you're not going to be completely transparent with injury info. If you don't have to be, why would you be? But now that you saw that game and all 3 of them miss, this is where I'm blown away by this line for game 3 coming back. I mean, the Cavs are 2-point favorites at most spots right now.
I don't get it.
On the road at Indiana.
Do they know that they're playing? Like, they already know that they're playing?
Yeah, like who knows that? Because they just missed that game and you're telling me there's a 3-point difference?
Also, even if they are playing, I'm a little surprised by this. It's like, again, I get it because the regular season Cavs won 60-plus games. And, yeah, they probably should have won yesterday. But Indiana kind of blew them out game 1, and they had everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, it will be a
Except
stay away for me.
They
I'm not saying,
didn't have Garland.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm betting the Pacers, but that's a weird line to me. Anyways, for me tonight, sorry, Savannah. For me tonight, Celtics, I laid the 9.5. Good on Will. I didn't know there was an 8.5 out there. I think 9.5 was the best number I saw when this opened up. On the Celtics tonight, I will say a little bit differently than how Will said this. Could possibly still be a bet for me. The Porzingis stuff is interesting. Questionable right now. I don't know what to assume here. You and I were texting a bit about this yesterday. It sounds like this is still some of the lingering illness that he was dealing with a couple months ago that forced him to miss a fair amount of time. I'm not really sure we ever figured out exactly
this is a mystery illness, right?
Exactly what he was dealing with, or I don't know if it was fully announced to the public, and it sounds like that's what he's dealing with again. So I'm not counting him in by any means tonight. However, I don't think the Celtics should need him to take care of business against this Knicks team. I'll lay the 9.5. My point was bringing that up, though. It might be out to 10.5 now. If Porzingis gets ruled out, this number is gonna come down a little bit. So if you haven't gotten a bet in already, I'd probably just wait at this point if you are looking to bet the Celtics tonight. Because Porzingis, if he gets ruled out, that number is gonna come back in. So late 9.5 with the Celtics. Look, I just think shooting positive regression happens a little bit tonight. Knicks don't play quite as well as what we saw the other night out of their role players. And then Chet Holmgren. This was one thing I was wondering about heading into this series, and did it play out in that first half of that game of Jokic just being too much for both of those bigs, for Hartenstein and Holmgren. Both of them were in foul trouble immediately. Holmgren's going to be put in a situation where he has more opportunities at plays on the ball as a offside defender. So I think he could be in foul trouble for a lot of this series if Jokic continues to put up big games. So I'm going under.
Up 90 pounds or something.
Yeah, I mean, when he draws the Jokic assignment, it becomes really tough for him. So yeah, I'm going under 25.5 PRA for Chet Holmgren tonight.
Will Hill's on the Padres tonight, plus the 1.5. So on the run line versus the Yankees. Last game at the Bronx between these two teams in this set. And he's on the Mets as a minus 116 favorite on the road against the Diamondbacks. And Jason Weingarten, Reds Braves over 7.5. His play in Major League Baseball today as well. G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN. Get the G-Bank Visa signature card today. Why don't you? Most credit cards treat sportsbook and gaming transactions as cash advances. That's even when you put your own money on the card. G-Bank treats gaming transactions as purchases, so you're saving up to 3 to 5% on cash advance fees on gaming transactions right there. Also with G-Bank, you're earning 1% cashback rewards on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions and 2% cashback rewards on all eligible purchases. Apply now at VSiN.com/GBank. That's VSiN.com/GBank. Hope Porzingis is okay. It's been a weird year of mystery illnesses.
It's scary
Mookie
stuff,
Betts, remember? And Hunter Renfroe. That was scary as well. Stormy, next in studio. Cannot wait. Let's talk some hockey next.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. Kelley's alongside, too. He's behind the glass, though, because a special treat right before she co-hosts Money Moves with Jonathan Von Tobel. The lovely Stormy Buonantony is here in studio with us, and it wasn't just the Golden Knights who took it on the elbow yesterday, the 4-2 loss to the Oilers. First of all, thank you for being here, Stormy.
Yes, excited to be here. Love a little crosstalk before we come on air next.
A little crosstalk. It's an old radio thing, crosstalk. But you got hit by a puck yesterday.
Yes. So I, as a former rinkside reporter, had never been between the benches until I started doing these national games. And it's an amazing viewpoint. It's very fun. Last night, however, I was sharing the between the bench spot with Louis DeBrusque, who's amazing. And bless his heart, he and the training staff were trying to give me ice and stuff. But he saw a puck coming his way, and from my vantage point, I could only see Louis. I can't see through him. So
your back of your head is to the puck.
No. So I'm Louis here, and then I'm behind him like this. So
Okay.
I'm looking in the direction
you're
of where
looking
it is.
towards it.
I just can't see it. Louis gets out of the way, and then by the time I see the puck, I'm just worried about please don't knock my teeth out and go to the side. So I've got a nice little dent and
It is a little
swollen
purpley.
bruise.
You did a little show and tell earlier. It's a little purpley.
I think that it's going to progressively get bluer as we go, but it was nice. Mark Stone came up to me and was just like, "You're tough, man." And so it made me feel good. I have such a newfound respect, though, as if I didn't already, for NHL players and the way they block shots that are coming at them significantly harder than the puck that came at me. But I mean, they're monsters and they fight through everything. And so,
hockey players.
I just got my first bruise. We're ready to go.
Before we get your actual thoughts on this, on these hockey series and these games, one other thing happened. I'm curious if this has happened to you before. Weren't you doing a sideline report the other night, maybe in Minnesota? Correct me if I'm wrong. And then a goal was scored in the middle of your report?
No, a penalty was called.
A penalty was called.
Yes.
But whatever it was significant enough that you had to be cut off in the middle of this. Does this weigh on you every time you're doing a report in a hockey game?
Yes. The game moves so quickly, and you never want to be the person that ruins a goal call or a significant moment. And so it's like wrap up the thought immediately or just shut up, basically, is the mentality. So you try to be as quick as possible. That's why normally when you see reports from a reporter and not a game analyst in a hockey game, they're coming out of a break or immediately following a whistle, so that you have a good 25 seconds or so that are built in. But you got to get your thoughts out quick in hockey for sure, much more so than any other sport I've covered.
You can only do that or football. Which would you do?
It's such a hard
sorry.
They're such different games.
Sorry.
But I would say because of the climate control and the fun of being in person at the game, hockey. But football is fun, and you have more opportunity to tell stories, and you really get to hear behind the bench what players are saying and what coaches are getting into with their players. So you get more access in football, but hockey in person is more fun, and I don't have to worry about rain.
Stormy playing hurt. Her elbow hurts. She got hit by a puck. Everybody have sympathy. All right, so about this Oilers-Knights series.
Yes.
Knights are up 2-1. Oilers score 3 times in the third period. They win game 1, 4-2. Now the Oilers obviously shift to the series favorite, but not a huge series favorite after the win, but they are nonetheless that with the game in hand. Do you feel, you are a keen observer of the Golden Knights, do you feel like this is a portent of things to come, or do you still feel confident about the Knights?
I think that this is still a series that can go long. I thought this was going to be a pick'em series from the start, so it actually surprised me to see the Golden Knights as an even money dog to kick things off in this series. But I don't blame odds makers or bettors for thinking that way with Edmonton because of the way that no lead is safe. And we saw that evidenced last night in T-Mobile Arena, where the Golden Knights have this lead. They score early, and Mark Stone, no less, that top line getting action after the slow start in round 1 for them. So you think maybe this could be positive momentum to come for them. And then the Edmonton Oilers do what they did throughout the course of the first round, which is rally and rally significantly in the third period.
Yeah.
They're plus 11 in the third periods in the playoffs so far. 5 comeback wins.
They did it to the Kings over and over.
Yes. And for Vegas, sorry to cut you off.
No problem.
What was a big standout to me was the lack of the direct north-south game, especially considering the issues that Edmond has had defensively and in net, that you would think if you're fighting through that, you should be able to have shot volume and test Calvin Pickard. And we saw in the series against Minnesota how they dominated shot share. For them to have 17 shots on goal and just 1 in the second period yesterday was significant and very uncharacteristic. So I do think, at least from that standpoint, Vegas turns things around.
Okay, this was, and you're right. By the way, I said it wrong because Edmonton was a tick of a favorite pre-flop, minus 115. Now they're a minus 230 favorite in this series. This was the round where all the teams that did not have home ice were the series favorites. One of which was Carolina being a favorite over the Capitals. Carolina beats the Caps yesterday, 2-1 win in overtime. Caps led by 1 in the third. Carolina overcame that. Carolina finished with 33 shots on net compared with just 14 for Washington. Do you feel like this will be as lopsided as that felt yesterday, even though it was only a 1-goal win?
No, not as lopsided as we saw. That said, I do like the Carolina Hurricanes in the series. I actually took the Caps yesterday as a home dog, and we've seen so many of them have success. I thought, especially in their home building, this is a team that hadn't gotten a lot of respect despite having one of the best regular seasons in the entire league this year, even coming out of their opening round series because of some of the close games. It's like people just forgot that they actually won that set in 5 games. And so it's one of those things where I think that it'll be a more competitive series, but Carolina is the better team. They're bigger. You see the shot share, not only the shots on goal, but the edge in shot attempts was 94-34 for Carolina. And they are kind of this like analytics
brutal
defensive darling.
Yeah.
And they are a team that kind of embodies the character of their coach and Rod Brind'Amour and what he brings. And when they win game 1 under Rod Brind'Amour, 8 out of 9 times they've gone on to win the series. So I think it's Carolina's to win, but I do think that Washington is a good team. I think they're going to win a couple.
94-34 shots. Good.
I think Washington at the very least wins 1 game, but I think they can win 2.
Tonight we have a couple, we have a game 2 and then we have a game 1, the last remaining game 1. The game 2 is in back at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, where the Leafs are up 1-0 on the Panthers. Toronto, by the way, up 1 is just a minus 115 series favorite now, so just a tick of a favorite, up a game. They have netminder issues though.
Yes.
How do you think this plays out? And because I look at Wool, who replaced Stolars the other night. His stats are good, but he looked, I mentioned this to Jay Kahn the other day, he looked a little dicey. I'm not the keenest hockey observer, but he looked a little shaky. I don't know how you feel this series goes.
Yeah, gave up 3 even strength goals on 20 shots, but I think also there's something to coming into a game cold versus knowing you're the starter. And obviously coming into today, he'll have that frame of mind. The prep will be a little bit different versus coming in a game, although you would think up 4-1 that you're in a pretty solid situation as a netminder. But and again, we talk about no lead is safe with the Edmonton Oilers, and you could probably say the same with the Florida Panthers. But for Toronto, it's interesting. This is a team that you've so many people are talking about, well, this season is different. This year is different. And then you see a collapse like that late in the game with the goaltender issues.
The feeling comes in.
And you start feeling it again. That
I feel it for them.
Yeah.
Like that's how palpable it is, right? Toronto, who has not won a Stanley Cup famously since 1967. So in the end, you think Florida takes the series?
I do. I bet them plus 105 to come back in the series. I like Florida in regulation today, plus 115, puck line, plus 180. I didn't play, but worth a look there. And there's even a decent price on them, 3-1 right now to win the Eastern Conference if you want to go that route. I think this is, they're much better than they showed, and now having a backup goaltender that they can try to take advantage of, I think will play to their favor. Sergei Bobrovsky gave up some soft goals.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He's bound to give up a clunker every once in a while. It's just what he does, but larger picture of work, larger body of work, that's not who he is. And so I think he gets back to form also.
By the way, random question, has nothing to do with anything, but since you mentioned Bobrovsky, it occurred to me. Marc-Andre Fleury, Hall of Famer or not? Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Dallas at Winnipeg, game 1 tonight. Dallas, a minus 170 series favorite. You think this goes Dallas's way?
I do. But I don't think the Jets are as awful as everyone is making them out to be.
They won the President's Trophy.
They won the President's Trophy. They have the best goaltender in the world. And I know Connor Hellebuck's postseason numbers are abysmal, and that's a narrative that's going to stick with him. But I feel like that potentially he found something in that overtime of Game 7 that can maybe inject that much confidence to have him get off to a good start. And say what you want about the numbers, and they're bad. He like doubled up what his season averages were this year in that first round. He got pulled 3 times after never being pulled all season. But he also is great at home, 17-0-1 at home his last 18 games.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think he plays better and kind of bucks the narrative a little bit. Hella bucks the narrative in this round.
I see what you did.
So smooth. I hope for him, just like we're talking about Toronto fans need it. It's like Jets fans just always collapse with Connor Hellebuck.
This is awful for me to do to you, but who's in the Stanley Cup Finals and who wins the cup?
30 seconds, you give me that? I like the Florida Panthers to get back there. Let's get a rematch of last year. Let's get Florida and Edmonton, and Edmonton does what Florida did last year.
Stormy Buonantony, everybody. She took a puck to the elbow, for God's sake. Money Moves, top of the hour with Stormy and JVT. Enjoy from VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Thank you.